In this video, I'm going to cover 6 easy steps to build confidence in your 40s and beyond. If this is a topic that is of interest, please stick around. Hi, for anyone new to this channel, I'm Tania. I am a coach and therapist, and I empower women in their 40s and beyond to love themselves unconditionally and thrive in whatever season of their life they may be. So let's get started. The first step is all about becoming aware. We need to know what's going on up here. What are we feeling in our body? What are we thinking? What is our physical state? Because until we prioritize and take care of our needs, then we are not going to be charging on full cylinders and able to help everyone else in our life, whether it is family, whether it is work, whether it is friends, whatever your circle is. You need to be aware of what the self-chatter is, because a lot of people say, I don't have a negative self-chatter, but their actions, their behaviors, their patterns demonstrate that that is clearly not the case, because they're not aware of it. Sometimes it's too painful to become aware of it. So if you want to build that confidence within you, it starts by being aware. What is the self-chatter? What are the thoughts? How are you feeling in your body? And is it an upward spiral? Is it a downward spiral? Is it always a downward spiral? Is something triggering it to always be negative? So then you can figure out what you need to actually change in order for you to think and feel differently. And that brings me on to step 2, and that's about reframing. So this is where, if you become aware that your self-chatter, the way that you talk to yourself, is very critical, is very judgmental, it's very unkind, then you need to change that. You need to shift it from that negative space into something maybe not the most positive to start with, because it's just going to feel inauthentic and you're going to feel like you're faking it. So put it into something more neutral. So yeah, maybe today I am not feeling 100%, but at the same time I'm not at 0%. So reframe it to be that today I'm doing the best that I can, and that is you being kind and compassionate. But by being aware in step 1, then you can actually reframe it, and that is change it, see it from a different perspective, challenge it. Is it all the case? Are you not being your best self all the time, or is it just today? And if it's just today, then what's happened today to make you feel the way that you're feeling? So you can actually change that. The third step is about aligning your internal and your external worlds. And this is where confidence is a game of 2 halves. One is the internal self-esteem and how we view ourselves, and then the confidence that we project out into the world. Because you might be projecting a positive, cheerful, can-do attitude externally, but internally you might actually be judging, criticizing, pushing yourself down, in which case your inner and your outer world are not in alignment, they're in conflict, and therefore it keeps you stuck. It's not allowing you to truly live in your authentic worthiness. And this is it. This is our birthright. We come into this, we're spiritual beings coming into this human experience, and we are worthy and we deserve love. Every good thing is available to us. But as we start to grow up and take on beliefs and thought patterns and behaviours from our caregivers, they were doing the best that they could, but they've got limiting beliefs and they were projecting that onto us. And as a result, along the way, we probably self-doubt started to creep in, or evidence were starting to stack up that things weren't going as well as we would have wanted them to go. And therefore, then we start judging ourselves and we start criticizing ourselves. And then that chatter becomes really negative towards ourselves, irrespective of what it is externally towards others. So this third step is all about becoming aware. What is the projection that you put into the outer world? How do you feel in your inner world? Is there a gap between the two? And if there is a gap, start figuring out ways of how you can actually bridge that gap and close it. Because ultimately, you want to be feeling great internally, and you want to project that externally as well. And then you're truly confident, inner and outer, and you're in full alignment at that point. The fourth step is about self-praise. Unless you can get that negative self-chatter to become neutral and then eventually positive, you are not going to be able to overcome self-doubt, imposter syndrome, any criticism from external sources. You're going to take it really personally, and then you're going to react. And maybe you're not going to be happy with the way that you're reacting in those situations. So by you acknowledging the 1 millimeter improvements, things that you're doing today, that you feel proud, and you're happy that you've actually done them, celebrate them. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a whoop whoop. Do a little dance for a second or two. Put some music on and lift your mood, and really celebrate and embrace the fact that you showed up for yourself, and that you are aware and you're acknowledging that you've done something that you want to reinforce, and you want to keep doing, or you want to even do more of it over time. But you need to start by self-praising yourself, because the words that we say to ourselves are more important than what other people say. External people might be saying, oh, you look fantastic and you sound amazing and you're so positive and everything's great. But if our self-chatter is very negative and the downward spiral, we don't let all that wonderful praise come into us. We block it. We've almost got this kind of wall that's not allowing all the good stuff to come in. And likewise, when we are actually feeling good about ourselves, we want that to then project out into the world, because we want to spread this, pay it forward, lift other people up, and help them, show them the steps that we've sort of gone through to build our confidence. Then the fifth step is all about self-respect and trust. And this is about us turning up as the person that we want to be. We want to respect ourselves, and we want to value ourselves, and therefore we want the external people in our world to also respect and value us. And this is where, as we sort of go through life, whether you've got a family or whether you're in a relationship or whether you're out of choice as a single person or you're working, you're always in relationship with people. And this is where, if you expect other people to respect you and trust you, you need to start by respecting and trusting yourself. You need to show up for yourself, provide evidence and proof that you are doing the best that you can do, and you're learning, you're changing, you're improving, you're growing, you're expanding. And therefore, by doing that, you can show up as the authentic version of yourself, that you are really confident, you have got your own back. If you don't know something, admit that you don't know something, but go and figure it out. Go and find stuff, whether it's on YouTube, on Google, go and read a book, listen to a podcast, speak to someone that it might be an expert in that field, and gain that information and knowledge. And therefore, you're actually going to show that respect to yourself and trust that you're actually showing up, and you're pushing the needle in your life. You're turning up for yourself. And by that respect, then you can expect other people to respect you back, because you're turning up, you are trustworthy, and therefore people can start depending on you, and then respect comes as a follow-up to that. And that all then builds up your confidence with your internal dialogue and with the external way that you present yourself into the world. And then the final step is about becoming this new version of you. So in your 40s and in 50s and beyond, your life is changing, whether you're an empty nester or whether you've got teens at home, or whether you're progressing yourself in your career, or whether you're deciding to take a step back and start slowing down. Things are changing in your life, whether you call it a season, a chapter, a phase. Things are starting to change. And in order for you to really have confidence and be authentic, you need to sort of like become aware of who is the person that you want to be. So for me, I did that self-reflection, and it was like, who does Tania need to become in order for her to align her internal and an external world, for her to show up authentically, and for her to be able to rely on herself at any given moment? And this is about letting go of any kind of behaviors and patterns and habits that no longer serve you. And those probably start from letting go of some kind of beliefs that might have been ingrained and you've been having them for several decades, and they're no longer serving you. They served you at a point in time, but now it's time to let go and become this new version of you, this version of you that is confident, that is feeling worthy, that is feeling unstoppable, and that you can show up as the best version of yourself in any given situation. And letting go of what not serves you and bringing in things that are going to sort of like help you reframe, let you energize and turn up the way that you want to be. And sometimes it might be letting go of relationships, saying no to things, not always being readily available, and because you need to prioritize you first. And this is an analogy that I've used in previous content on this channel. It's about, we need to fill our own cup. We need to be full to the brim with the self-love and self-care that we're giving to ourselves. And then once we start to overflow, then we can start giving easily and effortlessly to other people and to situations and circumstances in our life. And therefore, we can stay authentic, we can stay confident. And the self-doubt, when it comes, we can actually easily sort of like reframe it, challenge it, and maybe sort of like, acknowledge that maybe today the self-doubt is correct, but I'm going to take this step or that step and I'm going to overcome it. And therefore, self-doubt then can be parked, and then I can be my authentic self. Now, if this is content that has resonated, I have also got another 6-day challenge on self-esteem, which I will link on the kind of screen somewhere here, that if you want to get a little bit more detail and you can do some practical steps over a 6-day period, and to sort of like give you the tools and the techniques of how to gain higher self-esteem, which then will flow into your self-confidence and what you're projecting inwards and external to the world. So if you want to watch that content, superb. If you've liked this content, if you resonate with my vibe, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate that. And please go out and seize the day. Have the most amazing day, whatever you're going to do. And remember, there's always choices in life, so choose wisely. Bye until the next one.